Hey, good afternoon, church family. Just want to come to you with some important information about upcoming services for our church family together. As you know, in June, we talked about that subject, and at that time, we decided that we would just stay online for the near future, but we would revisit that topic again in July. So this past week, on Monday, Dustin, Diane, and I got together and looked at the requirements from the county, the health department, and the state, and the things and the guidelines that we would have to do in order to be in compliance with all of that. And then we put together an action plan and presented that action plan to the church board Tuesday night, and the board reviewed that. We had much discussion. We prayed about that, and we came to a decision, and we voted that we would have services beginning on Sunday, July 19th. At 10 a.m., we will meet at the church property. I'll explain that in just a moment. We decided to hold off for tomorrow because the meeting was on Tuesday, and to turn around and try to do everything this quickly before this Sunday, put a worship team together and do all that kind of stuff would be too quickly. So Sunday the 19th at 10 a.m., we will gather together. We will be out on the church lawn. We were not able to be in the building because the current requirements restrict us to about how many people we're allowed to have in the building. And so in order to have a service for everyone, we'd have to have at least 2 or 3, possibly even more services. And then there's things like masks you have to wear and different things you have to do within the building. So we decided that the best plan of action would be for us to meet on the church lawn. And as this video ends, you will see some graphics that will come up on the screen that will give you really important information about what that will look like and how that service will unfold. If you have any questions about that, please contact me. The church building, the church offices will remain closed. Dustin, Diane, Sonia, and I will be in and out of the building. Melinda will be there cleaning and preparing for the service. And just cleaning the building anyway. So we'll be around, but actual office hours and actual meetings and activities at the church are not going to be happening right now, but we are available to you. You should know by now how to reach me, and you can do that in a variety of ways. Either send me a text, shoot me an email, pick up the phone and give me a call, even knock on my door or catch me at the church, or some other way of communicating with me if you have a question about any of the information that we're going to be sharing with you. I'm not going to read all the things that we want to share with you. There are things that we as a church leadership team and pastoral team are going to be doing for you to prepare for that service. And there are things that we need to make sure that you're aware of and that we would ask of you as well. So that graphic will be coming up in just a few moments. I also want to let you know that we're doing our best to sanitize and clean the building. So this week, in preparation for the service, Melinda will be down at the church. She'll be cleaning everything in the building and just giving it another good overhaul and cleaning and sanitizing of all the surfaces, doorknobs, countertops, those sorts of things, as well as the bathrooms. And you'll see some information about the bathrooms on that slide. As you come to the building, we're going to ask you not to go into the building unless you need to use the restrooms. That will be the only area that will be allowed to be open for you, and you'll need to access that through the glass door. And at that time, there'll only be 2 people at a time allowed in the building. So if you and your child need to use the restroom, that's 2 of you. If you and your spouse need to use the restroom, that's 2 of you. If you and your best buddy need to go in the bathroom, that's 2 of you. Just please minimize that traffic that's in and out of the building so that we're not congregating in there and we're not congesting in there. There'll be somebody at the door to monitor that for you. I know that sounds strict that we have to monitor the bathrooms, but those are some of the requirements we need to do. We are not telling you have to wear a mask while you're on the church property. We are strongly encouraging it, but we're not requiring it because we're outside. If you can maintain 6-foot social distancing, then you do not have to wear a mask. So we would ask you to please maintain that social distancing. However, if you forgot your mask or you would like one, we will have masks available for you. We'll also have seating arrangements for you. Now, we're not going to tell you you have to sit in the front or you have to sit in the back or where you specifically have to sit. But as your family arrives, we will direct you to an area that will help you to maintain social distancing. It will keep you 6 feet apart from another family. On that note, we're asking you not to sit with anybody except your biological family. I know we are a church family that is affectionate and close-knit, and we like to be together. But unless you're with your biological family, please do not sit with anyone else. We just need to maintain that separation for right now as we continue on. Also, we're going to ask you, and I know this is a tougher ask maybe than even just sitting 6 feet away from somebody, even though we're an affectionate church and we love to give hugs and we love to give high fives and we love to shake hands on a Sunday morning, we're going to ask you to avoid physical contact. Some people just aren't quite ready for that, and so we don't want to make somebody awkward or uncomfortable. And for our own health and sanitary reasons, we're going to ask you not to do that. So please avoid physical contact. Certainly greet somebody, give them a smile, give them a word of affirmation, a word of encouragement. Ask them how their week's been going. Talk about the upcoming football season or your zucchinis in the garden or what Jesus is doing in your life. However you want to do that and enjoy reconnecting with your church family, but please do that from a 6-foot distance. and avoid that physical contact. There's some other things you'll see on that graphic, but please take some moments to read those things. They're also on your Facebook page. We will still broadcast the service over Facebook, and we're going to try and do our best to get it out there on YouTube at the same time. Facebook is predominantly the way people connect with us for the live services, so that'll be our primary focus. We're going to try, and Dustin and I are going to try and put together a way that you can connect on YouTube at the same time if you'd like to. Otherwise, we'll upload to YouTube later on, but we will have that opportunity for you. We realize that some of you may say, you know what, Pastor Jim, I have some health issues of my own that will limit me or keep me from coming and attending the service because I'm not ready to congregate with people yet. You may even have some legitimate COVID-19 questions or concerns of your own that keep you from wanting to congregate with people. Completely, we understand that. So we just want to make sure that we are inviting you to participate in the service in a way, even though you may choose to stay home with yourself or your family and not come physically to the building. So that's why we want to offer the Facebook and the YouTube. Also, we know there are other people literally around the world that do tune in to our services sometimes, and we want that opportunity for them to join us as well. But for those of you who may say, I'm not quite ready for that yet, we completely understand and respect that, and are just glad you're willing to join with us through the privilege or through the opportunity of the internet. So thanks for doing that. One last thing for you: on the 18th, the day just before the 19th, that's Saturday, we're going to gather at the church between 9 and noon and have a church work day. We haven't done that yet this year because of COVID. Things kind of really slowed down and stopped, basically. And so we need to do some sprucing up of the lawns and the property and the yard. Really not the lawns, because they've been maintained and they've been mowed and they've been weeded and they're coming along. You will notice that the big lawn looks like it has some dead spots, some crop circles or something. It's the sprinkler system that we're working on. There are some issues we have with the current irrigation system at the building or at the property, and also working with the city irrigation system is a little bit challenging. So we've had some issues. We're still working on those, so please be patient. But the lawns are in pretty good shape. What we need to do is we need to gather and clean out the flower beds and trim the bushes all along the church building and around the handicap parking area. And then underneath that big fir tree, there are piles of pine cones and pine needles we just need to rake up and clean up. So if you're able to come between 9 and noon, the more people that show up, the quicker we'll get it done. And maybe we won't have to stay there till noon or past, just finish it up. But we'd love to spruce up the grounds before we get back together on Sunday, the 19th. So if you're coming, please bring a few things of your own. Please bring your own mask if you decide that you want to work shoulder to shoulder, side by side with somebody and start pulling those weeds. Please bring your own gloves and bring your own yard tools, your own garden tools if you'd like to bring those and use those. And we'll have like plastic bags and things available for you. But for yourself, please bring those personal items as well as your own refreshments. Which reminds me about one more thing for the church services. For the church services, please bring your own chairs or your own blankets and your own refreshments to the services. We're not going to be providing tables or chairs. Not only does that make for a whole lot more work prior to the service of hauling out all the tables and all the chairs and then having to put them away, we'd also have to sanitize those over again. So to avoid that, we'd like to ask you to bring your own chairs, your own blankets, or however you want to enjoy service on the lawn, and your own refreshments if you need to be hydrated during the service, or you just like to enjoy a cup of coffee or a cold Pepsi or whatever you drink during the service. So please bring your own for that reason. And then again, during the workday, please bring your own refreshments. The church will not be providing any of those. If you have any questions, please connect with me, get a hold of me in some of those ways I talked about previously. But we're really looking forward to being back together. We'll have a time of worship, we'll have a time of communion, and we'll have a time of God's message to us as we gather together. God bless you, and thanks for being with us today. We'll see you tomorrow online for tomorrow's message.